How you guys doing? Hey, I wanted to come on, and first I want to say, sending prayers and positive energy and condolences to all those affected by what happened in Florida yesterday. It's heartbreaking. Danielle, hey, thank you for sharing my video already. Danielle, you rock. You seriously are awesome. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, hey, Wayne, Hermilo, how are you? Am I saying? You gotta tell me, man, if I'm saying that right. Hermilo or Hermio? Justin Sokol, how you doing, man? So I'm sitting here thinking about, I was talking to my little girl last night at the dinner table, and she was talking about that she's like, she said something like, I had a cold or something. I'm like, no, you didn't. Hey, David, how you doing? Nicholas, how's it going? Tiffany, what's up? So Brad Holcomb, what's going on, bro? So I thought about this, so I told her, I said, I heard this story. David Miner, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? I heard this story, and I told my little girl, I said, you got to realize the power of your thoughts. Hold on, what do we got? We got some DMX bumping. Wow. So the power of your mind, right? The power of our mind is incredible. So I told her this story about this. I read this somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but I read this story about this guy that worked in the rail yards, worked on trains and stuff, and it was late one Friday night, and he realized he forgot a tool in one of the cars, the railroad cars, and he runs in to grab it. It's quitting time. Everybody's heading out, and he runs in to grab the tool, and the door shuts behind him, and he turns around, and he's like, oh no, there's no way to get that door open, and he realized he's in a refrigerated car. And supposedly this is a true story. I don't know, but he realized that, this is a refrigerated car where they keep it cold. And so he's like realizes, oh my God, I'm going to freeze to death because everybody's going to be gone and they can't hear me pound, and no cell phone signal in this thing. It's locked up tight. And so they come back Monday morning and they find him slumped over, frozen to death in this car, with holding a piece of cardboard where he'd found a way to scratch a note on it saying, it's getting so cold. And they found him, and he was frozen to death in this railroad car. And they did some further research and found out that the temperature inside of that railroad car was only like 58 degrees. It was actually in there for repairs, and the refrigeration unit wasn't even on. It wasn't even operational. The power of his mind, he thought he was freezing to death, and he thought it long enough and hard enough that he froze to death. Now, whether that's a true story or not, I don't know. The book that I read it in, I forget where I read it, maybe one of Dr. Wayne Dyer's books or something. But when you think about the power of the human mind, John Davalito, Richard Trevino, my brother, how are you? Matt Warren, how's it going? Lisa Collins, Davidson, how are you? So the power of the human mind is incredible. We can accomplish anything that we really truly put our minds to. Think about times in your life when you thought, man, I'm not going to make it through this. I'm just not going to make it through this. And then you get through it, right? It's almost like a lot of people. Josh Anderson, how are you, brother? Good to see you. So a lot of people are sitting around expecting the worst and the worst possible scenario, and then they attract it into their lives, and they're shocked. They're shocked by the fact that they attracted this terrible thing yet they sat around and thought about it and worried about it. Laura Peterson, hey, how are you? Laura, we got to get on a call. So, the power of the human mind is unbelievable. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about that the starting point is desire, and desire starts with your thoughts, and it starts with it's been a hell of a week, but good. I'm glad to hear you're doing better. Girl, you got your hands full. So, think about, like I told the story just a minute ago. If you heard, you can go back and watch the replay if you didn't hear it. But you got to think about the power of your mind, because the power of your mind, what you're putting out nonstop, that signal that you're constantly emitting, if it's at a low energy level, you're going to attract low energy level things into your life. If you're constantly, Dale Childress Jr., how you doing, my brother? Good to see you, man. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, you're going to attract negative stuff into your life. If you're thinking positive and you're looking for the positive things in life, you're looking for ways to help other people, you're looking and you believe that you're going to be able to help other people, that you're going to be able to take your business or your career to whatever level, that's where it starts. That is where it starts. And when you start saying things like, hey, thank you, Dale, I appreciate that, man. When you start saying things to yourself like, hey, Lisa, you should agree 1,000%, 1,000,000%. I'm kidding. So when you start doing that over and over and over and over and over, and you repetitiously are writing out huge goals. Laurie Jackson is in the house. Robert C. Stern, what's going on? When you start, you'll start attracting amazing things into your life. I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. I have some stories, including my new house. I have a daily attraction gratitude journal. Boom! It was easier to type 500. That's awesome. So, look, you will get what you expect out of life. You will get it. It's crazy. I saw somebody's post earlier today on Facebook. Don't live the same year over and over for 80 years and call that a life, right? So you gotta, what are you thinking about? What are you attracting into your life? Really think about what your thoughts are. Write it out, man. I'm telling you. And again, I don't want to turn this into an advertisement for anybody, but I've got the 10X planner. I've got Daniel Joseph Savage Grind planner. I've got my iPad, my trusted iPad, and my Apple Pencil. And man, I'm constantly writing. Constantly, if I have a thought, especially if I have a negative thought, I'll sit there and I'll write it out. Okay, why did I have that thought? And I'll write it out, and I'll try to really dissect it and then turn it into something positive. And I write out all these positive statements and affirmations and attach them to my goals and what I want to accomplish in life. And that, my friends, that is how you turn a life that maybe you could have a life that the last 50 years of your life has been nothing but negative, and you're constantly thinking negative. And if you can get this one thing where you can turn those thoughts into positive thoughts and put out a positive energy about yourself, man, you can have anything you want. There's a guy on here, and I'm not going to mention his name, but there's a guy on here that I've talked to the last couple of days that is blowing my mind. Especially the dude's 34 years old and sold his first company in his mid-20s. I don't know for how much. I'm assuming millions of dollars, and has another multi-million-dollar company. And he's just a good person, man. He just genuinely helps people, and he has this positive energy. He's always emitting this positive energy. When you're walking around in the world and you're emitting positive energy and you're trying to help people and you're trying to build something and you see it in your mind as it's building, it's expanding, I'm building, I'm growing, then guess what's going to happen for you? It's going to happen. It's going to expand. But like the story about the guy in the railroad car, in the refrigerated car that thought he was freezing to death, he froze to death. Over a 3-day period, the dude froze to death. They found him frozen to death on Monday morning. And then they found out the temperature of the railroad car was only like 58 degrees. It would be chilly, but you wouldn't freeze to death, for the love of God. Like, you get it? Like, you get that? Like, your mind is so powerful. It's so powerful, it can kill you. It can also super expand your life if you allow it. You've got to tap into that. And you're not going to do it by just sitting around thinking. I promise you that. You're going to do it by taking massive freaking action towards your goals. And you got to write your stuff down, man. You would freeze. But you wouldn't freeze to death is my point. Unless you thought it long enough and hard enough that, okay, 58 degrees, that's going to be it for me. So listen. This is man. This life can be tough, man. It can be tough. It's a rough world out there for some people. It's a rough world out there for a lot of people. And I'll tell you that a lot of it begins with your thinking, man. It begins with the way that you're thinking. Laura Peterson, thank you for sharing my video. I see it popping up over here on my computer screen. Laura Peterson shared your video, so thank you, Laura. You rock. So just remember that your thoughts are going to create energy. Your energy is what's creating your activity levels. And your activity levels, like for example, I'll give you an example. Here, I'll give you an example of a shortcoming of mine. So I have this new website development tool that's freaking unbelievable. If you want to hear about it, instant message me and I'll tell you about it. I'll show it to you. It's amazing. But I've got, and if you already know what it is, don't mention it in here because people can go directly to the website and it's so inexpensive. It's crazy. Hit me up. It's really cool. But like I've got all these sites on this other site platform. I don't really want to mention what it is, but it rhymes with sick tunnels. Okay, think about it. So, I need to get all of them off there because I'm paying all this money for sick tunnels and come on, you know that's funny. So anyway, and I'm like, I gotta rebuild these. I gotta rebuild. So I finally, I'm like, let's do it, man. I got all these appointments. I got all these things going on, but let's do it anyway. Let's do it. So I'm and guess what? I'm making a massive improvement, and they look freaking amazing, and it's crazy. So like, just like, you gotta start here with your thoughts, man. The power of your mind it's ridiculous. People don't realize how powerful their thoughts are. And they walk around and they're miserable or they're unhappy and they complain to everybody with a heartbeat, or they complain about this, they complain about that, or they start feeling a little bit sick and they're like, oh, I gotta tell everybody I'm getting a cold. I'm getting the flu. Oh my God, I think I have the second and third and fourth and fifth strand of the flu. And oh, I'm going to have to go get flu shots again, or I'm going to have, it's like all of these things. And all you do is attract more of that. You attract more of it. You get sicker. Your cold gets worse. It expands. All of these things. And I've listened to this stuff. I've seen it. I've heard, I've read and heard Dr. Wayne Dyer. Ken, you need a shirt with whatever is printed on there, printed backwards. Dude, it's easy. Hashtag published author. Come on, man. Hey, what's going on, Joel? Dan Keller is in the house. Tracy Hilder is in the house. Jeff and Karen Briza. Osvaldo. Am I saying that right? I'm sorry if I'm not. Renee Envy, what's going on? So, look. Am I saying that right? Osvaldo? I'll bet that's close to it. But anyway, so like your thoughts, it all starts with your thoughts, man. It starts with your thoughts. You got to get your head on Got to get your head on right. You get your thoughts right. You start writing this stuff out. You know, Grant Cardone, I'd never heard this in my entire life until I met him. And that's write your goals twice a day. And he has that 10X planner he designed. And I'm telling you, that's some powerful stuff, man. You write your goals twice a day. You write down your targets. Look, the average person does it one time a year. You do it twice a day. That means at the end of a year's period, you've written them 730-ish times, and the average person's done it maybe once. Maybe if they've ever done it at all. Who do you think stands a better chance at achieving their goals, right? And who's going to have a more positive mindset? It's impossible to write your goals over and over and over, unless your goals are, I hope to get sick tomorrow. I hope to get sicker the next day. I hope to get a really bad cold. If your goals are that, man, you need some help. So anyway, you know, like write down some positive goals, things that you want to expand, things that you want to achieve, places you want to go, people that you want to meet, people that you want to work with, clients that you want to have. Write that stuff down and watch it all start to transpire in your life. Write it down multiple times. Write it over and over and over. If you're feeling down, there's something wrong with your head. There's something wrong with your thoughts. If you're feeling, and you know, help other people along the way. Reach out and help somebody else. If you reach out and help somebody else and you're not focused on you, but you're focused on helping somebody else, it's impossible to get depressed and sad and lonely and all that other horse malarkey. So, like, seriously, dig deep, look at your thoughts, look at what's going on with your thoughts. If you look at what's going on with your thoughts, you can change everything in your life. And it can start right now, tonight. Tonight, you could start right now. Start writing the stuff out. If you start writing the stuff out, you can have an amazing life, and it's going to change everything going on up here. And I promise you, if you change everything going on up here, it's going to travel its way right down to your heart chakra, and it's going to expand your heart. It's going to expand everything in your life. You're going to expand everything, but it all starts with writing that stuff down, man. You've got to write it down. Write it down. This is one of my favorite lives from you. Well, thank you. I really genuinely appreciate that, Renee. I get, you know, especially after yesterday, and it was tragic and it was very, very sad. And anybody that's walking around this planet saying they have all the answers, they're full of crap, and they'll make up crap about other things too. There's nobody that has all the answers, but I do know that I believe that if we can emit more love as a human race, that things like that will come down. Things like that will start to come down. I'm not even going into a gun control argument. I own guns and I love owning guns. But you know what? All I know is this. I know this. That if I can learn how to walk around with the right mindset that's aligned with my heart, and I'm putting out a loving thought at all times, and that's going to turn into loving actions. And when I turn those loving actions into helping other people in the entire world and making the human race a better thing, making this world a better, it's like Gandhi said. It's like Gandhi said. Gandhi said, was it Gandhi? I think it was Gandhi that said, or was it Buddha? I don't know. Be the change you wish to see in the world. It was Gandhi. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Start with you, man. Quit judging the dude that shot everybody up. You can't change what happened. All you can change is what's going on inside of here, and align it. Get everything in alignment and emit positive energy out into the world. You're not going to change it all, and you can get as pissed off as you want, as angry as you want at everything going on in the world. And I'm going to tell you right now that no matter how angry you get, the more angry and hateful you get about anything negative going on in the world or around you, the more you're going to cause bad energy to be out there. Carl, how you doing? Lisa Craig. So, Eric, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Jedi. How you doing? So get your thinking right. Your thinking is so freaking powerful. I read another story one time about the mayor or somebody of Washington D.C. Somebody went to the mayor where it used to be one of the D.C. used to be one of the murder capitals of the world, homicide, and so they called together the largest gathering ever. In the United States, they called together all of these Buddhist monks and all of these people that said, hey, we truly believe that we can bring the crime rate down in your city if we all just go to separate areas of the city and meditate for days. We meditate, just meditate and emit loving energy while they're meditating. And Google it. It really happened. I've Googled it. I've read about it. I don't remember if it was DC or somewhere, but they all meditated and sent love out into the world, into the city. All of them sat and started thinking all these positive thoughts. And guess what? The crime rate went down. It plummeted. It plummeted. So yesterday I was smart, so I'm starting with myself. Exactly. Post it or send it to me when you find. Post what? What I was just talking about? I've read it in a book and I've looked it up before. But, look it up. I mean, it's out there. And when you're putting out loving energy, like I see people out here that are like, all right, I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to tell everybody what really happened. I'm going to, and stirring up all this negative stuff. This negative, like what's the point? What's the point? Is it a marketing ploy? Are you trying, what's the point? What point are you trying to make? Who are you trying to hurt? Because you cannot hurt another human being without causing harm to yourself. It's not possible. You can't. Just like you can't love somebody else without causing love for yourself. So, listen to me. Listen to me. Start right here. Start writing out what you want. Write out your goals. Write out everything that you want. Write it all out. And do it over and over and over. Get your thinking right. Get your thinking right. If you get your thinking right, get your thoughts right, get your heart right, man, you can seriously impact the world. You can impact the world. Look up the poem by Marianne Williamson. I forget, it's from her book, A Return to Love. If you look up the poem by Marianne, and it's Marianne, Marianne Williamson wrote a poem, called Our Deepest Fear. And if you read that poem over and over and over about our deepest fear, Dan Keller, how you doing, bro? If you read that poem about our deepest fear, I just got a notification that my Apple Pencil battery is low, so I have to plug it into my iPad and charge it. If you read the poem called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson and realize that your deepest fear is about how you're more afraid of how powerful you are than anything else. We all are. Doesn't matter if you admit it or not. Really doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if you're really aware of it. If you're not aware of it, that's okay too. Jay Barry, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. So, wake up. Wake up. Get your thinking right. Write it down, man. Write it down. Write it all down. Our deepest fear is us not being friends. Hey, Joel, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's a very powerful poem. So just write stuff down. Write it all down. Get your thinking right. Get in alignment with your heart. Start putting out love to the world. Start putting out love to the world, man. Stop being so judgmental. Stop being so critical of others and let them be, man. Let them be. Do the best you can to put out love and be a good person. And not everything's always going to be perfect. Accept that, and then life becomes perfect. Anyway, I just want to hop on and say what's up. Get your mind right. Get it right. Get your mindset right. And be a good person. I'm out. Thank you guys. Appreciate all of you. Later.